All right. Greetings. Welcome back to Blackburn News, where everything is connected except for Substack. Well, they're connected. We're streaming to Substack, but god dang it, Substack. Can you guys be any more wonky and not operational? It's not that hard, man. Every other platform can figure this out, but somehow Substack can't. What's up, Desert Madness? We're live on Odyssey. People are watching on Odyssey. Will I get up on Odyssey? Thank you for watching on Odyssey. I appreciate you watching on Substack, whoever's watching. But god dang it. So dumb. Apparently you have to generate like a new stream key every show or every day, which is just so lame. Like most other platforms have a static stream key so that every time you go into StreamYard and you create a show, you just use the same stream key for the platform that you're on. No, not Substack. No, we have to make it extra dumb and not workable. You have to make a new stream key for the day. Oh god. Lame. But Substack, figure that out, please, because it's 2025, almost 2026, and every other platform can do this. So can you please just make it work? All right, enough complaining from me. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome back. Got some things to talk about. Got some people in the chats. Got some people watching. Hello. Thank you for being here. You guys, great. So what's happening? A few things. Let me right off the bat, I'll let you know I got a new song out. If you want to go listen to it, it's about, the song is kind of about my house being burned down. So there's that. But I wrote it right after the fires happened, and I don't know, I just felt a little weird singing about it or making a song about it at the time. It felt a little bit I don't know, just felt a little strange. So I put it in my back pocket, and then circumstances required that I pull the song out and finish it. So I did finish the song. So you can go listen to it there. It's brand new on my Matador Bandcamp. And also I'm going to be releasing a Matador record next week sometime. I don't have the date yet, but pretty soon. Imminent. So y'all get ready for that. Also, one more thing. I'm going to do a Instagram show tonight, a YouTube show at 6 p.m. Pacific. That would be 9 p.m. Eastern, or 8 p.m. Central. So tune into that if you guys want to watch me do a couple songs. It's going to be like 3 or 4 songs. I don't know, something like that. My IG and my YouTube are at kevinsandbloom. Very easy to remember. All right, let's talk about something else. So what's happening? Starbucks is still on strike. Why am I? Maybe you care, maybe you don't. I care because it's not strikes don't get a lot of media attention, and like all things that are for the people, populist and or socialist, they get squashed by social media and by a lot of outlets. So they don't get a lot of news coverage. Certainly not on like the mainstream primetime in breaking news. So we're going to give them a little shine today while we're here, because oh, nice. I hope you had a good time with your daughter, Poppy. That's cool. Always good to have some visitations from the families. Yep, for sure. I know most of us have been boycotting Starbucks for a couple of years, but just in case anyone's drifted back, listen up. As of today, Starbucks workers across the country are on strike. And they're ready to make this the biggest and longest unfair labor practice strike in company history. Workers deserve dignity, fair pay, and a union. A union. Solidarity means action, no contract, no coffee. Stand with Starbucks Workers United. Please do. I don't know that it's. We'll read a little more on it. Starbucks strike enters week 3. Some Starbucks workers are entering the 3rd week of a strike the company says has little impact on its business or customers. Hardy har. Starbucks Workers United, which represents employees at about 550 of the chain's estimated 17,000 U.S. locations, has been on strike since November 13th. Strikes began at some locations in 65 cities as of November 28th. Some baristas in 85 cities have joined the demand for better hours and pay. However, the company said those numbers are inflated. Right. On December 1st, J.C. Anderson, Starbucks Corporation spokesperson, told USA Today that only about 55 stores are impacted by the strikes and that 29 of the original striking stores have reopened. The nearly 3-week-long strike has been dubbed the Red Cup Rebellion. As they began on Starbucks Red Cup Day, when customers may receive a free reusable red cup with a beverage purchase. I don't know. Starbucks says the impact has been minimal, but they have closed multiple stores in Los Angeles over the last few months. And I don't know why you would close stores in one of the largest markets in the country unless you were feeling some heat. Reflect the Sun says, remember when Hillary wanted Starbucks union busting CEO Howard Schultz as the Secretary of Labor? Good times, yeah. They're all on the same team. Try to remember. Visitations has an interesting meeting during the holiday. When I said it, I felt that too. What's up, Kate? On Odyssey. We have Isola on Starbucks. And Victory Jan. Yeah. Just as a simple reminder, the people in charge want the unions busted. They encourage they encourage immigration, or they encourage the undermining of worker salaries in the U.S. This is not in any way an attempt to demonize immigrants to the U.S. at all. They're just looking for a better life. The problem is that they use these people as pawns, and that is the disgusting part. And some people are out there still thinking that somehow this is, the Trump administration is just upholding law and order. And I'm like, you guys have the very minimal, thinnest of understandings of what's going on. And it's great that you're out there on Twitter, full-throated, cheering on a game that you don't even understand. But, have fun. Poppy says 3 Starbucks in town, always lines. I don't get it. Does the coffee have crack in it? I don't know. I mean, so I have to say, if I'm traveling, I make my own coffee. I drink my own coffee, and I prefer my own coffee, the kind I make at home. But if I'm traveling and I have I'm talking just about flavor or taste and strength, I generally, if it's a choice between truck stop coffee or 7-Eleven coffee and Starbucks, I would say Starbucks is the better. I don't travel that much right now. I don't have a reason to buy Starbucks, and I just generally try to avoid Starbucks because they're an evil company. There are other places, Pete's Coffee, Coffee Bean, that have decent coffee, but they're just very hard to find. So I don't know, but on my last trip, I avoided Starbucks on purpose and drank some old truck stop coffee, and I was happy, and I was happy about it. You would love to see Walmart employees get a union? Yeah, I would too. I would love to see all employees get a union. But Walmart workers are kind of on the bottom of the barrel as far as pay and compensation and overall happiness, I think. But anyways, we need more unions. We need more worker protections. We need better wages. We need better benefits. We need free health care. We need, all kinds of things that we seem to be drifting farther away from. But please continue boycotting the companies that are evil, the companies that don't care about you, the companies that don't care about the planet. Please continue boycotting them, if you can. It does impact them. The more people do the boycotts, the better. If we can lessen their power, if we can hit their bottom line, if we can cause them to close stores and shutter business and fire CEOs and reorganize and restructure, and we can cause all that kind of stuff, that's great. Will cause them to rethink their business model. Kashama's Workers Strike Back organization is ready to bring the ruckus with a blowtorch. Nice. I would love to see that. I would love to see more visibility for her. And I would love to see people in general. You know who else needs a union is Uber and Lyft drivers. I mean, there's many. There's a lot out there. Even better, consume as little as possible, says Poppy. I agree. Absolutely. All of that goes hand in hand. But yes. I feel the same way about McDonald's. Everywhere you go, literally everywhere I go, I see people lined up at McDonald's. Everywhere. They're always popping. And I'm always like, why? Why is McDonald's always popping? They suck. Their food sucks. They're, now overpriced for what you get, severely overpriced for what you get. And people just can't get enough of McDonald's. And I just, I'm like, do you guys, you don't know any better? You haven't heard the word, that people have known for literally decades now that it's poison food. It's just probably barely passing as food on an FDA level. And you're supporting one of the worst, megacorps out there in the world. Like, you don't understand that? Mm. But people are just like, how about McDonald's? Yeah. Ow. Fud. All right. What else is going on? Netflix. We were just talking about Netflix. Evil. Speaking of evil corporations or evil empires or whatever you want to call it, we were talking about boycotting Netflix yesterday, and they just announced this morning that they're trying to buy Warner Brothers Film and streaming business for $72 billion. So there's a lot of consolidation in the media going on, which can only bring bad things, right? We're supposed to be going in the other direction. We're supposed to be, or we should be in a decent world. We should be going in the opposite direction of monopolies and having our media, be much more decentralized and diverse. We can get other viewpoints. But no, that's not what's happening. Who are the good corporations? I don't know, Poppy. I don't know an answer for that. Some people might say like Costco is a good company. Yeah. I don't know. Sure. At least they try to treat their workers fairly. or so I've heard. Netflix has agreed to buy the film and streaming business of Warner Brothers Discovery for $72 billion in a major Hollywood deal. The streaming giant emerged as a successful bidder for Warner Brothers ahead of rivals Comcast and Paramount, Skydance, who basically are trying to take over the world, right? They're trying to buy like every media outlet out there. Warner Brothers owns franchises including Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and HBO Max. The takeover is set to create a new giant in the entertainment industry, but the deal will still have to be approved by competition authorities. Netflix Ted Sarandos said the streamer was highly confident it would receive the regulatory approval, etc. Anyways, labeling it as a big day for the companies, Mr. Sarandos acknowledged the acquisition may have surprised some shareholders, but it was a rare opportunity to set Netflix up for success for decades to come. Again, most of the streaming services these days are starting to looks like your grocery aisle, where you have like all these, different choices, which you're all spending like separate subscription fees on. But they're all kind of controlled by the same company, right? You're not really buying something different from somebody. You're buying something that's, slightly different. But you're not really getting like a huge difference in outlook or content or point of view or messaging or probably quality for that matter. I don't know. It's the way it sucks because it's the way everybody gets their entertainment these days, just like Spotify and Apple Music. But like, there seem to be other choices out there, but they're all not necessarily run by the greatest of people. And people say like Tidal is a better thing than Spotify, but Tidal, I don't know about Tidal. It's owned by Jay-Z and other people, but I would bet that if you scratched the ownership of Tidal, you would find some pretty notoriously evil and nefarious people behind it. So, I don't know. And some people would call Jay-Z a notorious and nefarious person himself, but that's another subject. Supposedly Jay-Z is tied to Diddy on some level. And they're all tied to, I don't know, the same people. All roads lead to Epstein, basically. Anyways, big news, not necessarily good news. Patagonia seems to be a good employer. Okay. I guess I've heard some decent things about them. Kate says make unions again. Happy people go to McDonald's for happy meals. Good. And stay happy. I'm happy today. I've taken my happy pills, washed down with happy juice. I'm happy. Kate says I've never had Netflix, Spotify, iTunes, or anything like that. I do have over 600 items on my Bandcamp account. Yay, Kate. That's awesome. It's kind of the way to do it, I think. I think we need to get back into, Bandcamp is, a decent alternative, even though they are bought by some evil hedge fund, but apparently they are still the same platform mostly that they were. That's true, Salt Lickers, yes. I think Bandcamp is pretty cool. I have yet to really avail myself of all of the features that they offer or artists can offer their listeners. And I, that's that's on me. I'm juggling like so many things. I don't even know. I'm just trying to get Substack to work when I do the show. There is a new platform coming out called Subvert.fm, which is supposed to be, which is a creator controlled version of Bandcamp. And I will let you know when that actually happens. I am already signed up to the platform and I'm already waiting to create my artist account so that I can upload my stuff to Subvert, or at least some things to Subvert. Hopefully it's a platform that will fly. I don't know. Let's see, where are we going to go next? Well, I had not even really a conversation or argument, but I saw somebody on Twitter earlier today cheering on the law and order of the Trump administration, rounding up illegals and ICE, and I was like, oh golly. So I tried to just give some information without being too angry at them. I tried. Hopefully I didn't come off too strident, but I just tried to say like, hey, this is all a game, and you don't really understand the game that's going on, right? You're like, yeah, get those illegals out of here, and like they let them in, bro. They let them in on purpose to undermine wages. They did this to you on purpose. It wasn't like, oh, whoa, I don't know, there's just illegals coming in and taking the jobs. These, damn evil illegals coming, like, bro, are you thick? So, I just was like, hey, they let them in, in order to undercut wages. This is on purpose. And then they, turn around and scapegoat them in order to create more of a police state. right in front of you, and you are cheering it on. You are cheering it on, and I would, just rethink my position on that. Yeah, I wasn't trying to argue, Scott. I was just trying to enlighten. I know. I'm done arguing on X too. But when I see something that is just really like dumb, I just try to go like, you know what? That's not true, or maybe don't think it. Maybe you can think of it in a different way. Scott says, I don't think Apple Music is lossless audio. It sounds crappy on my stereo. Yeah. You're going to lose something pretty much with all these streaming services. But, anyways, I was kind of arguing with them, not arguing, but I was stating my case and saying, like, hey, they're ramping up a police state using you as a, useful pawn in this and using immigrants as useful pawns in this whole thing. And I was like, they don't care about you. You are next on the list, right? The people that are freedom, the people that are all freedom, the Constitution, tyrannical government, these commie Democrats, whatever. I'm like, you're next, bro. You are next on the list. Right when I said that, 2 seconds later, I see this Fiorella retweeting this, but ICE detained U.S. citizen woman driving to work dressed in full medical scrubs. And I literally told him this. I said they're not even, they're arresting a lot of people who are not illegal. They're not. It's not all about immigration, right? Trump is out trying to put National Guard on the street to fight crime or to fight Antifa or to fight, blah, 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 whoever they want, whoever they're trying to name. I'm like, they're arresting people who are not illegal, who are U.S. citizens. Do is this something you want to see? I tagged him with this woman being arrested by ICE, who was a U.S. citizen who was going to work, dragged out of the car, tackled to the ground, handcuffed. Agents finally checked driver's license to prove her citizenship, and did eventually release her. DHS issued a statement claiming that she had initially refused to roll down her car window all the way. Bro, yeah, this is not like what. It's like literally Gestapo shit. So it's just not. I don't know. There's still people out there who are, I don't know, whatever. Think that somehow Trump is their hero or a good guy or fighting for the rights of America. Blah. They're well, they're just misinformed, and it's they're misinformed. It's unfortunate that they've been seduced. And maybe you can be mad at them for being gullible. I don't know. Poppy said, hold on 1 second, guys. Since Poppy says, since deleting my X account, I realize how much Musk inserts himself into your life on that platform. Oh, yeah. You deleted your X account? All right. And a lot of people are waking up to the idea that the people, they've been duped. by the supposed white knights that were going to fix something, and they were just part of the they were part of the breaking team, not the fixing team. The whole time. The area of white knights is over. Many of you believe this. You were wrong. These people were never going to save Western civilization. We all make mistakes. The question is, are you going to learn from them? By the way, replacing these white knights with other white knights is not what you should learn. No one is coming to save us. We have to do the hard work ourselves. Good job, Aaron Day. Good post. It's been way better than you imagined. All right. Nice. Yeah, unfortunately, as much as I don't know, as much as I've resisted like Threads and Blue Sky, I'm almost ready to I hate to say this. I'm almost ready to make accounts on both those platforms. Not that I think the people running them are any better than Elon Musk, because they are not. Let me tell you right now, they're not. But I don't know. I don't know that X is. I'm just talking about reaching more people, I guess. And X pretty much sucks. And I can see there's already been an exodus, pun intended, and I can see that there will probably be more of an exodus off of X. Kate says, "Why don't I know about Subvert?" Oh, because Subvert is brand new. It's not even public yet. Sorry, I didn't see your I didn't see your comment there. Yeah, they are brand new. They just launched like a beta. So the site is up, and I've been on the site very, very briefly. But they're not live in public yet. They're like testing the platform, and they're going to let us know when we can start making artist accounts. Blue Sky seems like a DNC run echo chamber. It is, because it is. That's why I have not really I just don't know where else to go. I feel like getting off X and going to Blue Sky is like, oh, okay, same thing, but with liberals. I don't know if I don't know, but if you can pan Quake, I think they're long gone, or they are never coming. You want to reach people, I guess, is the point. So they just keep on making these new platforms, and it's hard to really juggle all of them. So I'm actually, you want to diversify, but I'm thinking like it might actually be more helpful to stay on like a few platforms and just really lock in, just really lock in on a couple of platforms, 2, 3, 4, and I mean, I have a TikTok account, and even that is almost too much for me to manage. I have a TikTok account. I post to it, but like it's almost on the outskirts of my periphery. I'm like, oh yeah, and TikTok. Blue Sky doesn't feel political to me, but that's not where I get news. It seems simple and easy. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I might make an account and poke around over there. I don't know. Where do you get your news, Poppy? That's the thing about X, is that so I don't go on the For You page. I stay on my followers page. So it is a bit more curated. I'm not overrun by MAGA Israeli weirdos all day. I'm not overrun by propaganda all day. So on my followers page, it stays mostly sane. But there is a lot of news to get. Substack is pretty good. I like Substack. I've been enjoying Substack as a platform. So even though they're a little bit wonky technically, they're okay. Blue Sky is just woke Twitter. Jack Dorsey founded it, then left and founded. Oh, did he leave? Founded something else to try to be anti-capitalist social networking system. It flopped. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Is like you're leaving X that Jack Dorsey used to run to go to another platform that Jack Dorsey founded, and I just don't see the point of it. You might think Musk is bad, but Jack Dorsey was firmly an intelligence linked operative. Before Elon Musk, intelligence linked operative took over the platform. Jack Dorsey helped to buy. Jack Dorsey pitched in money to Elon Musk to buy X. You know that. So that these people aren't any different ever. Just they're not on different teams. They're all on the same team. Yeah, okay. What else is going on? This one, I like this video. This woman is talking about people forgetting about what's been going on with COVID or what COVID brought into our lives. This is from the Children's Health Defense. But she's trying to, I think COVID was the precursor to the, ramping up the digital panopticon kind of thing that we see Trump pushing in. Remember, Trump was very involved with COVID. He was not an outsider. He was a very pro warp speed, get your vaccines guy all the way. He might have positioned himself as an outsider, but he was lying to you. What Ringtail Fox says, he is also thin intelligence, smart only in the narrow topic subjects they're working in, and completely clueless and stupid about everything else. Savant on steroids. Are you talking about Jack Dorsey? There's a lot of those, right? There's a lot of those folks. So let's listen to this. I just thought it was an interesting video.
Let's talk about what we really need to do, which is look at the biodefense industrial complex, which is what nobody wants to do. Sasha and I, in the dossier, named the people, some people, there were many, many people who were involved, who were in intelligence and in military top positions in the pandemic. There has yet to be an investigation that has called any of these people at all or questioned them at all about what happened. And their name is not Fauci. And their name is not Redfield, and their name is not Birx, even though Deborah Birx was the public-facing agent of the National Security Council. So we name a lot of names in the dossier, not just in the United States, but in every country. If anybody wants to do a real investigation of COVID, you can start with those names. You can also start with the documentation that we've presented, which talks about how the military and intelligence agencies were in charge. That would be something to investigate, not the CDC. Not the NIH. That's not what it's about. And so we're very, very, I get emotional and adamant about it because it's been 5 years and we can't get the so-called medical freedom movement to focus on what actually happened. And so the medical freedom movement is actually either intentionally, some of them, or unintentionally, I believe a lot of them, walking right into the propaganda trap and the censorship trap that has been set for them. Which is now we're only going to talk about, was it a lab leak or was it not a lab leak? Are the vaccines safe and effective? Or are they not safe and effective? Let's take a step back and say, wait a minute, what actually happened? Who was in charge? How did they run this global operation? And how can we protect ourselves from this global operation, which is ongoing, and which we should be focusing on every day. There are things happening every day that are the consequences or the sequelae, which is the continuation of what happened during COVID in terms of digital IDs, propaganda and censorship, not just in Europe. We're not in a golden age in the United States. I hate to tell the audience this, but we're not in a golden age of free speech and, the censorship is over. No, I'm still censored. Sasha's censored massively on all social media, and we think that probably it's happening on Substack as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and many people who write about things that are not partisan, this is not a partisan issue. That's another thing I really, really want to emphasize. If you start talking about COVID in a partisan way, you are a part of the problem. So if you say it's the Biden administration did the censorship, the Biden administration did the lockdowns, the Biden administration is the one that did the, vaccine mandates. Actually, the Trump administration and the Biden administration and now the Trump administration all did those things in a continuum and in tandem and in coordination. And they use the partisan thing in order to distract and divide. And I appeal to everyone who's listening to please, please, please.
What she's saying right there is
go beyond the partisan and look at what's actually happening, because it's us versus the global conglomerate cartel.
Yep. I'm gonna stop it right there. What she's saying is so important. There were a lot of actors playing roles during COVID. Like, remember Robert Malone, who at first came out as a supposedly he was the one who invented mRNA, and he, definitely intelligence linked, but he was one of the first people that were coming out speaking against the vaccines and against the whole COVID thing. But it looks like he just positioned himself as one of the anti people. Right. Just like right now, what's going on with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and all these people that are positioning themselves as anti people. Oh, I'm free. I'm independent now. I'm doing my own thing. I'm not controlled. But they're still out there. They're just taking the the bad guy position, or whatever you want to say, the outside position, in order to corral people eventually, and also to give people, right, it's a limited hangout. I'm glad she didn't say global Marxist elite. The heel instead of the face, to borrow from wrestling. Yeah. The powers that be. Oh, I was going to say, going south. Twitter was like a woke version of X. That's funny. Substack is heavily censored, so is Medium. Yes. I'm beginning to realize. I see people talking about it on Substack. Quite a few people talking about it on Substack. And I'm kind of bummed that I didn't start my Substack or get involved with Substack, probably earlier when the censorship was less. But I can tell right now that it's censored. Why? Because I've been getting a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers, but nobody sees my posts, nobody likes my posts, except for Victory Gin. Same as on X. 2 people see my posts on Substack. Nobody watches my show. Nobody's seeing anything that I'm doing there. So I'm like, obviously they're not sharing my content with anybody. But I have like a social media wide, there's somewhere out there's some kind of algorithm or code that's saying like, not this dude on any platform, not this dude. And that I'm not paranoid. That's absolutely true and correct. On every single platform, they're like, nah, we don't like this guy. It's fine. It's fine. I keep on going, and I'm not really going to trip on it too hard. Just keep on pushing. Hi Mars still watches. Probably. And Greg. Wayne says, Kevin, I thought the same thing ever since the first show I watched from your channel. Yeah, well, you got to my channel, Wayne. YouTube screwed up. There were a couple days. I don't know what happened. But YouTube screwed up and allowed the algorithm to slip off my channel. And all of a sudden I had like 100 viewers, like twice in 1 week. And everybody was like, hey, whoa, what's this? What's going on? Never saw you before. This is awesome. Blah, blah, blah. And then like, bam, right after they were like, oops, put that back. Don't let anybody see this channel anymore. Wayne, I've been doing this channel for like 8 years now. And in the first, let me see, I don't know, up until about 2019, I used to get thousands of views on my video every day. I used to have regularly, 100 to 200 people watching live when I did live streams. I would, I was getting subscribers all over the place. I used to actually make a good portion of my income, not all of it, but a good, I could pay the rent on my YouTube income for a, for a few years there. I was making money on my channel just from donations and from YouTube money and all that kind of stuff. And one day they were just like, we don't like you anymore. We're not going to let you get views anymore. We're not going to let you get subscribers anymore. First they froze my subscribers. Then they started like taking my views down 100 views every month. And now it's like, they tell me, oh, you got 100 views today. I was like, yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. So I've been doing this basically for 5 years with a heavy censorship going on my channel. But I know that people are seeing my show. I get confirmations from other places that a lot of people are watching my show. They just make it seem like nobody's watching. That's their whole game on my behalf. That's their whole game, is to try to make it seem like nobody's here. Anyways, just to give you a little history, Wayne. If they took whatever that is off of my channel, I would be hella popular. Like I would be hella blowing up. But whatever. It's frustrating. I'd at least have, 6,000 followers instead of 3,000 or whatever they say I have. I might even have 10,000. Well, guys, if you want to support the show, Ringtail says I discovered Kevin back when he was Sam Bloom's Bulk Goods. Yeah, that was the first channel. Yep. Way back on when. I can't believe that I've been doing this show for like 8 years. It's kind of crazy. I started in 2017. Kind of nuts. Ringtailed Fox, these people in their private web forum are discussing things that we don't want them to. Pull the plug, right? Guy McPherson brought you here. Oh yeah. Back in the day. Back in the day when I was much more climate change focused. And I used to interview Guy McPherson and other people. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm thinking about starting some other channels, by the way, letting you guys know. I have plans. Probably talking about different things, but I'll let you guys know when I get some other channels going. Story channel still in play. I have 2,000 videos on YouTube. Yeah. I should have what on my music account, or which account? On Black Bear News? I feel like I should have on Black Bear News, I have like 6 years of videos. Yeah, I've been doing this every single day for 6 years. I only started taking weekends off like a year ago. Black Bear News, yeah. Here's an interesting post I saw. I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but or I don't know. Maybe travel under Trump 2.0. Don't cross the U.S. border without a perfect burner phone. Advice from an ACLU expert. Oh, real quick, I was going to say, if you want to support the show, we're going to pass the hat right now. You want to throw $1 or $2 in or whatever. There's links below. There's a bunch of links. You know all the links. Odyssey and YouTube has the links. Well, you can support me at Substack or Patreon too. You guys know how to do it. A lot of you support the show. I appreciate you. And also tonight, like I said, I'm doing music at 6 p.m. Pacific on my Instagram and my YouTube, my music YouTube at Kevin Sandbloom. Both those channels at Kevin Sandbloom. Tonight at 6, I'm going to do a couple songs. That's also a little pass the hat situation. Come listen to some music. Throw down a few coins if you got them, or whatever, or don't, or just listen. So I'll see you all tonight at 6. Creative says, I still talk about climate change way more than other channels. Yeah, I haven't given it up entirely. It's still a thing. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot to talk about. It doesn't mean I don't care about it. It doesn't mean that it's not forefront in my mind, but it's just become harder to talk about in these days and times. And how do you talk about politics without getting screwed over? I don't know. James Lee just had his TikTok taken down. My Black Bear News TikTok is, probably because I talked about politics on TikTok. That's why they don't like me anymore. They don't like even my music channel on TikTok. They're just like, not this guy. Never this guy. Like, how do you talk about anything? As soon as you talk about something sensitive, they just put the kibosh on you. Well, yeah, climate change isn't going away, but there's nothing we can do about it. Yep, I feel like at this point, there is nothing left to do about it. It's gotten beyond our control and ability to reverse or even adopt. Well, I also think that they have done a really good job of demonizing anybody who's talking about it or making it seem like a ridiculous thing to talk about it. Like, the propaganda has been very effective. So, there are a lot of, human walking bots out there who have just have their head filled with like, no, I don't know about climate change. What about these chemtrails? It's been effective. They've reduced it to some really dumb talking points and convinced people that it's not a thing that they have to worry about. And, made Greta Thunberg look stupid. They've, wrapped the whole, tied the whole climate change conversation to Klaus Schwab and elites, who want to control the world, and Bill Gates, and effectively rendered it a very difficult thing to discuss. So I don't know. It's happening. Believe it or don't. I don't know. That's all I can say. Like, and on top of that, even if you could, even if there was a vast group of people out there that really cared about climate change and wanted to talk about it, they are working overtime to not do anything about it anyways. And I think everybody knows that. So propaganda is only one tool in the toolbox that they have used to eliminate or negate people's concerns or ability to talk about the problem or do anything legitimate about the problem. But you know that they still want to squash. Remember early in the Biden administration where there were a bunch of there was like a native protest in Minnesota against a pipeline, the Embark, I think it was, protest. I think that's what it was called. And Biden sent helicopters to, spray dust on everybody and shoo them away. And they really they shut that down. So they're interested in squashing concern and or protest against it in all kinds of ways. But just thank your local independent journalist out there for jumping on board with the climate change is fake talking point and helping the powers that be in their quest to get people to not care about it. So thanks guys, good job, you're awesome. The ice caps don't lie. You're right. Cop cities were protested by environmentalists and Biden crushed them. Yep, you're right. Absolutely. Anytime a good environmental protest gets out there, they squash the never living mess out of it. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know how much, and I don't know how long I can just repeat myself over and over again about what's going on. We try to visit, we try to check back in, we try to update people on what's happening, but it's just it's frustrating. Yep. And when it finally falls apart, it's literally going to be like, don't look up. Like people are just not going to even really understand what's going on, and they're not going to have the capacity or the language. Like you're going to be so dumbed down and propagandized that you're just going to be like, let's, think of every other reason this could be happening, or let's, something, pray to the, I don't know what, third eye atlas, 3-eye atlas. I don't know, something. Well, I was going to read this, but I don't know if I will. They're talking about if you travel with a burner phone, don't travel with your real phone. To minimize your digital footprint when you travel. Is anybody doing this right now? Who out there has a privacy phone? Anybody out there have a privacy? Colonial Jesus. Still working overtime for you. The perfect burner phone would likely be a prepaid phone that you purchase in cash. Some people wrote in after I gave the workshop and said that some of their clients are also afraid of being physically identified when buying the burner phone. So they suggested a mask or some sort of thing. Okay. Don't give out your personal data when initiating your phone plan. Don't come out of the shadow once you've got the phone in your hands. Again, stay anonymous when deciding on a service plan. Does anybody use burner phones for any reason? Does anybody have a reason to use a burner phone? Find public Wi-Fi when setting up your phone. Make yourself untrackable. Don't make another move until you turn down or off anything that leaves a trail. Even small flip phones that are prepaid often have location tracking that you can turn down. Turn everything down as secure as you can. Stay detached from your phone. They repeatedly warn not to attach yourself, as in your identity, to your phone. I've never heard the word attach used in this way, and loved the way it turned your identity into a tangible possession. Don't log into your accounts, because then you're attaching yourself to the phone. When you're using a burner phone, you should try not to implicate any of your networks or accounts. Don't log into your Instagram. Don't log into any of your accounts. Don't text your 3 best friends. Don't take pictures in your home on the burner phone. Don't do any of these things. Swap your SIM regularly. Okay. Don't cross a U.S. border without a perfect burner phone. Okay. This is what they're saying. Stick the phone in a Faraday. I've been hearing a lot that Faraday bags don't work. Or at least I've heard that several times from several different sources, that Faraday bags are not. And I don't really know why. I'm not really sure. I don't know the reason, but that they're imperfect. Pine phone. You have a Pine phone? I used to have a Pine phone for a while. It was cool. It was okay. I'm thinking about getting another privacy phone. I'm just not sure which one. Oh, somebody sent me the Bricks phones. Are those still available? Those look kind of cool. I don't know. I want to do it. I'm just not. Brax phone, not Bricks. Sorry. I want to do it. I'm just right now I'm tied into my. I can run it on my network, I think. It's just another project. It's like another thing to juggle in life. I don't know if it's just like I don't have the bandwidth for almost anything that I'm doing right now. So I'm like, do I add another thing? I don't know. A real Faraday cage looks way different, like actual metal box. Oh, okay. I guarantee you there's spyware embedded in firmware of phones, even in the individual chips. Probably. People that are saying that Huawei being like the cool anti-alternative to iPhone and Android, and there are other people that are saying no, Huawei is compromised too. Don't do it. But some people are out there going, I love my Huawei phone. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to try maybe the Brax phone. There's a few that I'd like to try. The Brax, there's one that comes Fairphone from Europe, looks kind of cool, and I feel like their new version works in the US. You couldn't really get a Fairphone because they didn't work in the US before, but now they do on some carriers. But they look cool. Yes, I think that's true, Scott. All right. Well, anyways, guys, I think that does it for me today. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Come hang out, watch a couple songs tonight on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And oh, sorry, man. I've been completely neglecting the Odyssey chat. I apologize. Sorry, I got really lazy there. Thanks, guys, for chatting it up on Odyssey. Mirror.org is still doing great work cooling homes for people most affected by global warming. Okay. Paul Beckwith did an episode on a startup for SAI, just got funded, 70 million. Okay. I mean, it's happening, right? They're rolling out the geoengineering. in very in kind of sneaky ways, right? They're kind of soft rolling it out, trying to get you to understand. And I think eventually they're just going to be like, oh, we've been doing it. That's my prediction. About 3 years, somebody's going to come out and go like, oh yeah, it's been ongoing. You guys didn't know? You see all the things in the sky? Oh yeah. Paranoid bears. Who are you calling paranoid? All right, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Peace and chicken grease, and beware the bear.